Hello and welcome to the Warrington Scoop podcast. I'm Charles.
And I'm Mike.
And we're here every month to explore all the brilliant things happening in and around Warrington.
Some you might know about already and some you won't. We want to talk about the people doing great things for our town.
If you're anything like me, you'll be trying to start off the new year with the best of intentions. New year, new me, that kind of thing. And if health and fitness is your thing this year, we've got just the thing, as I'm speaking to Bryan Forth from Warrington Road Runners about their annual Beginners and Newbies course.
We've also got a What's On guide for January with a selection of events for you to try out this month.
But first, it's the start of a new year, Mike, and you've been having a look back at some of the comments we've received on social media and via the newsletter over the last few months, which has given you an idea of what it is the people of Warrington want to see happening this year in 2026.
Yeah, we've got loads of those, but before I get into that, I just thought I'd talk about the thing that was the most popular feature of anything to do with the Scoop, newsletter, socials, anything, and that was the little yellow car that was abandoned or broken down outside Omega for like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So I made a small video on this and called it Warrington's newest tourist attraction, zoomed out, and people just went crazy on the comments talking about it like you saw it yourself, didn't you? Yeah.
I thought it was great, I'll be honest with you. It's one of those really daft things, isn't it, that happened in 2025.
Yeah.
That you just think, how can one misparked car or abandoned vehicle just cause so much engagement through people? No, I don't mean engagement with you and your social media, but just in general. People in town, in pubs, were chatting about it like they do about politics. It was amazing.
There's all people saying, oh, the battery's dead on it. Why can't it be pushed? Why can't it be towed? Why haven't they got a breakdown cover? Everyone had a thing of why can we move? There obviously must have been some sort of reason, but the next day after and the video went huge, the car got moved. Whether that was through the power of the Scoop or just coincidence, we'll never know.
I really want it to be that somebody, either from the council or from wherever it might have been, saw your video going absolutely viral on the internet and just went, yeah, we need to move this now. This is really, really bad. I love it. I love the thought that it was maybe the Scoop that got it moved.
That'd be nice. But in terms of things that people want to see in the new year, obviously, like some of these will never happen, but on newsletter polls, social media posts, here's some things that people want. So first on the list was M&S Food Hall. Obviously, we've got one in Stockton Heath, but in the town centre, I still feel it would work so well. You know, you're just in town, just going to get the bus. You know what? I just want something for tea. Obviously, we've got Asda Cockedge, and we've got sort of B&M and other places, but they're not quite M&S. And I don't know. It's the one in Stockton Heath is always heaving.
Yeah,
and I always think surely one would work somewhere in town still.
And you've got the one up. Is it Gemini next to IKEA?
Yeah, but you have to drive there. So if you're a bit older and you're just in the town, you get the bus.
I mean, I must say that I kind of use that M&S next to IKEA, the food hall bit, as a bit of a treat.
Oh yeah, it's a treat place for me. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I can't afford to shop there all the time.
Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, isn't it? But you know, you're getting fairly decent quality, I think, from there. So yeah, it'd be nice if there was one in the town centre. Maybe. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, these things come down to it won't necessarily be anything to do with Warrington that would make this decision. It'd be M&S, wouldn't it?
Yeah, M&S is
down to them. And at the end of the day, they closed the M&S in the Golden Square years ago now, didn't they? So whether they think they've got enough, what with the one next to IKEA and then the food hall in Stockton Heath?
Yeah, they've already got two. Do they need another? But I think they do.
Yeah, maybe.
But what do I know?
Would you put it back where M&S was? Would you have...
Just anywhere in the general town centre, people will flock to it,
Yeah.
So next on the list was an indoor shopping place like Affleck's Palace in Manchester. So if you've not been to that, it's 3 or 4 floors of all little small independent shops that sell jewellery, artwork. There might be a tattoo studio in there, a cafe, and it's really cool. I went for the first time last year with my wife, and I was like, you know what, this is really cool. So people have commented a lot on that, like the old Brannigan's building.
Yeah.
People mention that, but I know that's opening as like a Slime World place now. But somewhere like maybe the old Chicago Rock, I don't know. The old Debenhams, but obviously that's now TJ Hughes. But
you kind of want, like, I mean, if it's going to be like Affleck's Palace, then it needs to be like a a kind of standalone building,
an old building, something with character and
and stuff like that. I'm not really. Maybe I don't know. Is there anywhere down Sankey Street that is maybe out looking to be let? I don't know at the moment, but I like the idea of having those independent, really small businesses, because I know that there'll be people sort of going, well, there's the market, and there is, but the rent for even a stall there is quite high, from what I understand. Therefore, it's more likely that a business would survive if it is something obvious, like a fishmonger's or a butcher's or a fruit and veg stall. I think if you were having something like an indie clothes shop, like a tie-dye place, that's what I think of when I think Affleck's Palace. Tie-dye t-shirts and piercings and tattoos and stuff like that. That kind of thing. You're going to need not very much space necessarily, I would, imagine. And therefore you'd need fairly, well, let's call it affordable rent.
Yeah, it has to be
Yeah. But it would be cool. I think it would be great to have something like that.
Definitely.
In Warrington.
Next on the list was I did a video just going around Times Square and said what restaurant would work here. I think I put the one next to where the university is at the moment.
Yeah.
And people said, well, we'll talk about two because they are both on the list, Five Guys and Wagamama. And I think both of those would work on Times Square, probably because I like both of those. But Five Guys, I mean, it's expensive, but it's good. Yeah. Like, I do like it. I could see it working there.
If you were going to ask me, you can have one of those, which one would you have? It would be Wagamama all day long. I tell you this now, right? Me and my partner, Nick, would be skint.
Yeah.
At all times. Because we would just go, should we go to Wagamama's for lunch? Should we go? It would be, really, really. I think Wagamama's would go down a storm in Warrington somewhere. It doesn't have to be in the town centre. I mean, I think football-wise, it'd be really good, and it would definitely fit in with Times Square, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what
but if you're listening, Wagamama's HQ, can we have one in Warrington, please? That would make me and several other people happy, I think.
I've just got a side note to say about Wagamama. The one thing that I like is when you're done, there's just a QR code on your bill kind of thing that you just scan, so you don't have to wait and ask for the bill. You just pay it and go, and that is a game changer for me.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you could. There's plenty of places now where you pay in advance, don't you? Like you pay online on an app when you're ordering, don't you, and stuff. But like I do like the fact that the way that the service kind of works in Wagamama's is quite good. Yeah, I like that. I cannot be alone in wanting a Wagamama's in Warrington.
No way. There was loads of comments people wanting it. Next on the list was a big indoor arcade. So like the one, if you've ever been to Bury Arcade Club, it's like Evans House kind of building, 3 floors, just old school arcades, VR machines, really popular with families, kids. They have adult-only floors and nights. They've got pool tables as well. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, that would work in Evans House, but I also think an old building like the old Chicago Rock, that got like quite a lot of comments, somewhere like that. I think that would work, but obviously arcades cost a lot to run, a lot of electricity. With bills going up, but
is there not a place on maybe it's either Buttermarket Street or Horse Market Street, quite close up to the Skittles?
It's gone.
Is it gone?
Yeah, Level Up it was called.
That was it. Yeah.
So they were there for a little bit, and they had a bit of everything in there. And there was an actual small arcade club under the archways under Central Station.
Yeah.
That didn't last for long, and maybe it was just a touch out of the way. I don't know, but I just feel if there's a huge one.
Yeah.
I think it would work.
I think that kind of thing's definitely sort of coming back in. I mean, even as this is different. It's not an arcade, but there's a bar in Manchester. Don't ask me whereabouts exactly. It's on one of the nice sort of Northern Quarter streets, which is video games. So they've got like PS5s, Nintendo Switches. So at your table, they've literally behind the glass, like where your table is, you can play Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation. You obviously put down like a bit like with a pool table where you put a deposit down for the cues or whatever. You put a deposit down for the controllers. They bring them over to you, and you can then sit there playing Mario Kart and stuff while you're having a drink. That kind of thing is.
So is that NQ64 or is that a different place?
I think that's a different place.
Right,
it might be the right thing, but it's just a bar, and then you've got. I was like, this is brilliant. I love this. That plus arcades, but I mean, I'm just sort of thinking the many different things that you could have in a building. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be. You could, like Chicago Rock's quite big, isn't it? So you could divide that into a number of different, all under the same sort of brand, if you like.
Yeah.
But lots of different kind of areas within the same venue. So you could have like an old school arcade room, have a bar which has got, you know, modern computer,
a darts room,
darts room, stuff like. A bit like how I know, like in other places, like we've obviously got a Gravity, haven't we? The trampoline place.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
in Times Square. In there. And then you've got is it called Gravity Social now? Next door to it, the bar, because that was always connected to Gravity, the bar that was the American diner type bar.
Yeah, that's called Gravity Social.
That is so. A lot of the like even where I'm from originally, Northampton, Gravity is much more than just a trampoline park. There's like an indoor golf, neon, whatever you want to call it, site. You can do bowling in there.
So that's probably a Gravity Max, which is what they've got in Liverpool, where it's got like, it's just got all sorts in that one. That one is absolutely huge. I think ours is just a smaller version, really.
But yeah, I'd love something like that.
Yeah, so last on my list is related to that, which is indoor mini golf for adults. So basically, it's like junkyard golf, that kind of thing.
I love that kind of thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether we've...
It's so basic, really, but...
Yeah, but have we become like this? I mean, you know, me and you, we're in our early 40s, right? But there's plenty of people that are there sort of 25 plus, and maybe even a bit younger now. Like, it seems, I've got no stats for this to back it up, but it seems like that slightly younger generation to us, or next one on from us, rather than going to the pub all the time, they seem to do a lot more of actual wanting to do activities much more in a social way. They might have a drink while they're doing it kind of thing, but rather than just being like me and you do, just go down the pub and have a few pints and then whinge and a moan or whatever, they'll go and do so. It seems like that's the kind of trend. And I think it's great. And I think one of the things that, although it is great that Warrington is so close to Liverpool and Manchester, dead easy to get there either by car or train or even bus, if you want to, you know, spend 2 hours on a bus to get somewhere 20 minutes away, I don't know. But, you know, they are accessible places, but it feels like if we had some of what is on offer.
Yeah, we get used, definitely, yeah.
It would be, you know, why do we have to keep sending people out to the two cities rather than keeping them here in our ecos? This is where I do become I'm in my 40s now, because I start ranting about.
You don't want to travel that far, yeah. You want to be home by 10 o'clock and not on the last train home from Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
true, though.
All of that sort of stuff, definitely. Yeah, I really like that. I think there's some good ideas and lots of stuff. I mean, I really like the social media output that you've been doing on Instagram and Facebook and wherever else it is that it goes out, and more to come in 2026, Mike. And who knows, there might be another little yellow car sometime.
Yeah, if anyone's got a car that's broken down somewhere for ages, give us a shout. We'll come down, make a video, it'll get it moved. Thanks for listening to Warrington Scoop podcast. Sign up to the newsletter and get events and feel-good news delivered to your email every Monday and Friday, which goes out to thousands of people. Go to warringtonscoop.co.uk now.
Back in January 2017, I started the year with a bit of a health kick. I'd bought a pair of running shoes a few months earlier, but struggled to get myself going. And then I saw an article in the Warrington Guardian about a Couch to 5K running course being put on by one of the town's running clubs. It turns out that course was just the thing I needed. And it wasn't a one-off, as each year, Warrington Road Runners put on their Beginners and Newbies course, designed to get people started with running. I spoke to club member and course leader, Bryan Forth, to find out more. Hello, Bryan. Welcome to the Warrington Scoop podcast. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hi.
You're here as my friend and my running partner in crime. We've just finished parkrun, haven't we? Just as we
have, yes.
Started recording this. We've given it a bit of time to get our breath back. But we have invited Bryan into the Warrington Scoop studio because it is January, and January is traditionally the month of the year where everybody starts thinking about their health, and at least for a couple of weeks, maybe kickstarts a new routine. And as part of the running club that both of us are involved in, there's a Couch to 5K Beginners and Newbies group that you run every single year. The club itself, Bryan, is Warrington Road Runners. How long have you been involved in that for?
It's been a few years. I've been involved in Warrington Road Runners for about 13 years now, and I've been running the Couch to 5K for the last 10 years of that.
10 years of getting people started in their running journey. You must be quite proud of that.
I'm very proud of that, and very proud of all the people who've put their faith in us to get them there.
Stop looking at me. I did it 8 years ago now, I think. 2017 was when I joined. And if anybody knows me, then they'll know that I always tell the story that I didn't just do Couch to 5K, but I did Couch to Ultra Marathon in the space of 18 months. Which is not what you would necessarily advise.
It's not what we advise in the first week, no.
But we start every year, Bryan. There's a brand new group that starts up. Tell us about it. Who's it for? How does it really work? Who can go along?
The course is for anybody. We run the course for anybody over the age of 18. More than welcome to come, and it is literally for anybody, whether it's sort of anybody who's never run before, somebody who might have run previously and wants to get back into it, or somebody who's coming back for an injury. So we run the course, and literally everybody is welcome.
So it's not just the case of if you've never run before or you've not run since school, which is what a lot of people tend to say, isn't it, when they turn up? Not done this since...
Since cross country at school is the usual one.
Yeah, but it's also for people that maybe just, I don't want to say fallen out of love of running, but just fallen off the habit, so to speak, of running, maybe through injury or something like that. Everybody's welcome, all abilities.
Absolutely.
Tell us about it, because obviously it is January, it is dark. Where and what happens on that first session?
Everybody who's signed up for the course turns up, and everybody gets together in a group. We obviously try to put their mind at ease, but they're all still very nervous because it's the first run. And after about 10 minutes, they suddenly realise that they've not been on their own, thinking, I'm going to be on my own, I can't run, everybody's going to be looking at me. And after that, they realise nobody's actually watching them. They're running with other people who've been having exactly the same feelings. It then relaxes them, and then everybody sets off, and we go off as a group. And we keep it together as a group so that nobody feels isolated and everybody feels welcomed.
So it's a case of that first night is a bit of a warm-up as a group, and then off to go and do a shortish... It's a mixture. Yeah,
it's a mixture of walking and running at controlled time intervals. We tend to follow the NHS Couch to 5K program, so at least we can see some structure, and we've used it for over the last 7-8 years, and it's worked very well. It's all time based rather than distance based, so everybody feels comfortable and everybody's doing the same amount of work.
So on the night, everybody goes at their own pace, I take it, and they can all just go as fast or as slow as they want to. There'll always be somebody with them.
There is. We have a combination of, we have qualified run leaders within the club who are there to help support the course, but we also have quite a few regular club members who come down as volunteers to help, so that usually there's enough volunteers to run with at least one or two of the new group members as well. So everybody is sort of almost looked after. But there is somebody there to support and encourage and make sure everything's okay while they're actually doing the session.
So it's a simple case of everybody starts at the same time, everybody finishes at the same time. How many weeks does it go on for, roughly? I know it's not...
It's roughly 9 to 10 weeks is the timeline we do over the course.
And so in that 9 to 10 week period, you go from basically nothing, i.e. the couch, sitting on the couch.
That's it. And the final session is sort of the graduation, if you will. We tend to aim for the park run down at Warrington in Victoria Park.
And that's always a fun event, because the guys at Park Run are really good, really generous, aren't they, with their support for us on those days, as they are with every club. So everybody gets a nice big cheer at the beginning. and at the end as they're crossing the line as well, which is lovely. So 10 years of doing this with new runners each and every year. How many sort of runners each year do you tend to get? How many people tend to turn up on that first night?
It can tend to be, was it in the region of about 25 to 30 runners? So was it some years we've had a couple more, but the typical average is about 25 to 30 runners.
Quite a big group then, because I know that one of the fears, if you like, is sometimes I don't want to run in front of people. Like, I know that I'm very self-conscious of when I very much was when I first started, very self-conscious of what are people thinking of me when they see. And obviously the answer is no one's thinking anything, but in your own mind, that's not the way it goes, is it?
Well, that's it. And so, the biggest obstacle that we have to overcome is the muscle between the ears, because that's the one that stops everybody from thinking, right, what am I doing? And sometimes it is just overthinking. But that's why we have quite a few of the run leaders and the club members who come down, and as well as they're there to encourage and support and make sure everything's okay, they're also providing a bit of a distraction, because if they're distracting the mind, then all they're doing is the running part just seems to come naturally because they're otherwise occupied.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite parts about doing it as a run leader these days, is that I can just jog along, have a chat with somebody that's I'm meeting for the first time, but not talking about running. Or usually, I mean, you might sort of break the ice with or have you run before, or that kind of question, but then it's just about, as you say, distracting them and talking about anything apart from what we're actually doing, just so that they don't realise that they're doing it and they just get on with it.
That's it. And then by the time you get to the end of the session, it's done and they say, wow, I can do that.
Yeah, this is it. And I'm always surprised every year that people turn up going, I can't do this, I'll never get to 5K. And then even at the end of the first night, you've got people just going, oh, I did that. Then by the end of the course, everybody's just like, I never thought that I could do it. And I know that you're constantly reminding the group all the way through the sessions every single week that at the beginning, you thought 5K was a huge, huge distance that you weren't ever going to be able to do. And yet now here you are, having completed it.
Yeah, and that's it. It's also having to keep reminding them, well, you didn't run the 5K on the very first night. It's the gradual build-up, and that's what the whole part of the course is. It's providing that foundation and that belief that, doing it in small chunks and the small levels and the small improvements as the weeks go on. And that's where all the satisfaction comes from.
I guess that's good advice for anybody, really, because obviously you mentioned the NHS Couch to 5K app. That's what we tend to use when we're running the sessions. We follow those guidelines, if you like, and that structure of that session. But people can obviously do this on their own. If somebody is going out there and this January deciding, right, I'm going to start running, I'm going to get a bit healthier, I'm going to go out for a run. They've not run before, or at least not since they hated it at school. What's the number one piece of advice that you'd give them?
Start slower than you think. Yeah, you'll get some people who will just try and start off and go like a bat out of hell. Well, no, the idea would be start slowly and then build the foundation. It's not a race. All you're trying to do is you're just going out for set times. So you just go at your own pace that you feel comfortable at. You should be, as you're doing the running sections of the session, you should be able to hold a full conversation. So you shouldn't be out of breath. And that's the whole point, sort of keeping everything under control and being able to make sure that everything's okay while you're doing it.
And is that mainly a thing of keeping yourself fit, so injury free throughout while you're doing it, but also so you don't hate it? I mean, it's the obvious thing. Like even at Parkrun this morning when we were running, there were a few youngsters out on the course, and a number of them were getting to a certain point and then going, I don't want to do it anymore. And their mum or their dad, whoever was running with them, are trying to say, yeah, but you don't have to sprint. Just slow down and do it more steadily. And I always kind of think my inner child is saying that to me all the time when I'm running is, oh, why can't I be finished? You know, there's part of me that's always going, I wish I was at the finish line. I wish I could be faster. I wish I didn't feel like I was going to keel over and go to sleep because I'm so tired.
Yeah, by taking it easy, it'll help prevent that from happening. It'll also stop the risk of any injuries or anything happening while you're on the run. So yeah, just taking it easy, keeping it nice and gentle. Let everything build up naturally.
And obviously, we're starting this in January, so it's the darker months of the year. In terms of kit, there's kind of two things here to sort of talk about, really. So kit you need for running, but then obviously there's maybe a bit of extra kit that is needed because it's January and it's darker earlier.
Yeah, the first thing would be some comfortable trainers. You don't need to go out and buy the top of the range trainers when you first start off, but something comfortable that you know you're going to be moving for at least 30 minutes. So something that's comfortable and suitable for going outside and running on the paths. Some leggings, tracksuit bottoms. With it being January, yes, it's going to be slightly. It is going to be the colder part of the year. So yeah. So things like leggings or tracksuit bottoms to keep the legs warm. With regards to the top, whether it's a couple of thinner layers, so a couple of lightweight t-shirts or a lightweight jacket, depending on whether it could be rain, snow, whatever, or wind. Ideally, something that's a little bit reflective as well, just because it's dark nights. At least car headlights and everything else would shine over just for a safety point of view. And if you've got a torch or a headlamp, then that would be ideal. But the first couple of weeks, that's not compulsory.
I think it's because it's being run in a big group as well. Obviously, there's, as you said, run leaders there, experienced runners from the club. They will come kitted up, essentially.
They will have the reflective gear and lights as well, yes.
I think from my point of view, the one thing that I always tell new runners is you don't need to be as warm as you think you do in terms of your clothing, because when you start running, you obviously warm up anyway. And the amount of time, so like when you say a couple of lighter layers as opposed to having like a big fleecy jacket on is better than having a big like warm coat or something, because you're going to take it off. Trust me, you will take it off and then you will have to carry it. So if it's lighter weight, then that's easier for you to do. Or indeed, because it's lighter weight, you don't need to take it off and you can carry on. No fancy trainers. As you said, you don't need to go out there and buy a pair of £200 super shoes no. Or anything like that. Just any kind of trainers that people might have, especially for those first few sessions.
For the first couple of weeks, yes. Anything that gives a little bit of support and a little bit of cushioning on it, a little bit of comfort. Yes, it's not like the pumps, that kind of thing. You want something that's got a little bit of cushion and a little bit of support. As I say, you're going to be outside doing an activity for about approximately 30 minutes. So you need something that's going to provide some comfort.
Yeah. I'm wondering because obviously there's been a lot of people that have gone through this course with yourself. Not everybody makes it to the end of the course. And there are plenty of people that kind of get to the end of the course, do their 5K, and then they kind of go, that's enough for me. And they might do parkrun every week or every so often, but they don't go on and become Mo Farah, for example, and carry on running big distances. I'm just wondering, is there a particular reason that comes across for why people maybe, I don't want to say give up, but stop? Is there anything that has kind of been, that you've heard over the years people say over and over again, different people giving the same kind of reason for why they maybe don't run anymore? They've got halfway through the course and then they stop. Is it injury, or is it just not enjoyment? Or
a couple of times there can be an injury, or they could highlight something that they maybe weren't aware of when they first started, and then by doing the activities, it's sort of, I guess, aggravated it a little bit. But then when they've seek medical advice, they've then been taken advice either take a break, take it easy, or try a different approach to an exercise. Other times, it can just be just life in general seems to have got in the way. There could be things happening at home, at work, everything else. It can happen to anybody, anytime. And sometimes, that has to take the priority.
Yeah, I am very aware of how life can get in the way of my running at times. I think I've started more times than I've ever finished, but it's one of those. So the course starts early January. It's the first...
January the 6th. I think it's the first Tuesday. And so the first session will be meeting at Bridgewater High School up in Appleton. We're meeting there 6:15 on the Tuesday evening, ready to start at 6:30.
Fabulous. And if anybody is interested, where do they have to go to find out or to sign up to the course? Is there a cost for it?
There is a cost. There's a cost which is £20 for the course, but as well as the course, it also gives membership to the running club as well for the next 12 months. And there's also the club training T-shirt that's given as well.
So it's not just about paying to get through that course. You're also getting the membership of Warrington Road Runners for the year, which is...
So you get the support of the club and everything else for that year as well.
That's brilliant. And the best bit is a T-shirt, because when I started, we didn't get a T-shirt. This is a brilliant thing. I have got a T-shirt now.
You have one now. I've seen it.
But yes, it's a really good course. I mean, I've been through it. I genuinely didn't think that I would ever be a runner, but honestly, it was this course that got me onto that. It's not a habit. It's a lifestyle almost. It is one of the most important things in my life. And I couldn't have done it without going and joining a group such as this, which has been absolutely fantastic. Bryan, thank you so much for coming and chatting to us about that. As I said, 6th of January is when the first session is. It's a Facebook group that people go and need to find, or is there somewhere else that people can look it up?
We have the private Facebook group, which is Warrington Road Runners, Beginners and Newbies. So if people find that and request to join there, and then a lot of the information about how to start up and what the sessions are going to be and everything else. And there's the little group community there for everybody to be in there for the support. For booking onto the sessions, we use an app called Run Together. So people can just sign up, download the app, sign up for that, and then they can book onto the sessions from the Tuesdays and Thursdays for that.
And that's literally just for a register, isn't it?
It's for a register and just safety information, yes.
Yeah, fabulous. Bryan, thank you very much. Good luck for this year's.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully, I will definitely see you, because we'll be at Parkrun again next week probably, but I will see you at our next session, and hopefully see a lot of people out at the latest Beginners and Newbies session, which will be fantastic. Thank you for joining us on the Warrington Scoop, Bryan.
Thank you very much.
While Warrington Road Runners is the oldest club in Warrington and the one that I am a member of, there are plenty of clubs across the town, and a lot of them hold their own Couch to 5K courses throughout the year as well. We've put details of all of the running clubs in Warrington and Warrington Parkrun as well. Just take a look. They're in the episode description of this episode on your podcast player that you're listening to this podcast on right now. The Warrington Scoop podcast is sponsored by Vibrant Sound Media, Warrington's very own podcast production company. That's the production company behind the Warrington Scoop and my business as well. I work with people and businesses, not just in Warrington, but across the world, to create audio-first podcasts that connect with people in a vibrant and engaging way. I'm always up for a chat about podcasting, so if you'd like to find out more about how it can work for you and your business, get in touch. Go to vibrantsoundmedia.com. Want to know what to do in Warrington this month? We've picked out some of our favourites in January's events guide.
Well, as you can imagine, there's not as much on this month because everyone's a bit skint. It's January. Everyone's just holding back a bit. But here's some of the best things that are on this month. So first thing is Pulped and Blurred 2. This is on January 10th at Warrington Irish Club. So there's 2 amazing tribute acts. I haven't been to this venue yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it hosts lots of amazing gigs throughout the year.
Is this on Orford Lane?
It is, yeah.
That the one?
That's
you
the one,
mean?
yeah.
I've not been for many, many years, but I've got friends that go to gigs that are on in there all the time, and they absolutely love it. If you're in Lymm on the 19th of January and you would like to learn to bake, then I've got a class for you, Mike. On the 19th of January at Lymm Village Hall, you will learn the basics of bread making. It's a very hands-on class, and you will take away all of your bakes with you. I felt like I needed some more bread puns in that event there.
Dope. Anyway, another event in Lymm is Lymm Artisan Market on the 18th of January at Lymm Youth and Community Centre. So this is its 12th year that it's been hosting it in Lymm. It'll be back better than ever with returning favourites and new soul holders with something different to discover every month.
Lovely stuff. If you're a fan of comedy, and who isn't, let's be honest, Jason Manford is on at the Parr Hall on the 21st of January. His new tour is called A Man for All Seasons. There are just a few tickets left at the time that we actually looked for this. So if you're up for a bit of a laugh with one of Manchester's finest comedians, then go and have a look at the Parr Hall website for details of the remaining tickets.
I went to watch him last year when he was doing one of his different tours, and it was really good. Like the Parr Hall for that sort of venue and Jason Manford, it was one of the best sort of comedy nights I've ever been to.
I saw him many, many years ago at the Manchester Apollo. It's got to be at least 10, maybe even longer than that years ago. It was a great night. He's a really good, really funny comedian.
And then last, we've got the Kiss tribute band called Hotter Than Hell. I think they're called Hotter Than Hell, or that's the name of the thing that they're doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's at Empire. If you've not been to that, on Bridge Street, new live music venue. They do loads of great stuff there. So experience Europe's #1 Kiss tribute band with a professional and authentic 70s style Kiss stage show. Expect full makeup, iconic costumes, huge riffs, and jaw-dropping productions.
That sounds like fun. I wonder if the guy that hasn't cut his hair, you know, the Man United fan that isn't going to cut his hair until you've won 5 in a row, Mike.
Be a while.
Yeah, it'd be a while. He had his hair straightened, I saw on Instagram the other day, and he actually made the comment that he looked like the long-lost member of Kiss. So he might be there. You never know.
You never know.
Thanks for listening to the Warrington Scoop. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with someone you've not said Happy New Year to yet.
And don't forget to sign up to the newsletter to stay in the know with events happening around Warrington. There's a link in the show notes.
And if you'd like to have your business or organisation appear on the podcast, send an email to podcast@warringtonscoop.co.uk. We'll be back in February with a brand new episode of the Warrington Scoop podcast. Goodbye.
Get the scoop.